Hi, welcome to the small shed. This Saturday I've got a Glazing coffee table top. See you in a minute. Now, as part of the button factory table that I was doing, I needed to just get set in my own mind how I was going to glaze the top and get it to be a nice uniform finish. And with only a day to go before I was due to exhibit it at the opening sort of little ceremony they had, I decided to have a go and hopefully get away with it in time to be able to take it along with a small piece glazed, just to show them how I was going to do it so that it didn't look pretty awful. So let's have a look and see how we got on with it. Now, the last thing I want to do before this table goes away, it's pretty much finished sanded, is to bond a little piece of glass in the corner to give them an idea of what's going on. I'm not going to get a full sheet cut because it's just not worth it for something that may be 5mm different when we come to do the proper one. But I want to give an idea of what we're doing. And it's difficult to sort of fix glass in something like this without it showing, so I'm going to have a go using a sort of a technique I've picked up in one of the YouTube channels I watch, where they were glazing a boat. And effectively what I'm going to do is mask off the entire top portion in the corner and the bottom rail in the corner, so that the only bit showing is where I've got the adhesive. And then I'm going to mask off the glass itself everywhere except the adhesive is, and rather than just gluing it and pushing it down, you'll get air bubbles in it if you do that. I'm then going to just coat the underneath of the glass in the adhesive first, so that we get a clear sort of smooth air bubble free line, and then we'll bed this into it and let it go off, and let's see if that works. It'll probably get very messy, but we can only try, and again that's what the whole purpose of this is for, apart from losing it on the floor. Right, let's make a start. Should be more forgiving on the oak because I've got a dark sort of brown wood coloured glue that I'm using, whereas on the white wood it's going to be a lot more noticeable if I've got it wrong. Okay, so that's got the table masked. Move on to the actual glass itself. I think what I'll do with this is to actually cover the corner completely and then score it with a knife afterwards. That way we'll get it smack on. Make sure I get the right two corners. Go in there and just run a craft knife around the edge. And hopefully we can just peel that off. Leave the gluing surface. And the last thing to do is to put some tape on top of the glass so we don't get it all over the glass as well. Well, I suspect we will. We'll see. Okay, so we're now out with the skeleton gun and a cartridge full of goo. Now I've deliberately chosen a water soluble sealant so that hopefully if I do get any spillage I can get it back off afterwards. And at the moment I just want to get a layer of this on the glass, and then I've got a little coffee stirrer that I'm going to use to spread it evenly all over it so that we get a nice even coverage, and then that way hopefully we won't see any air bubbles or air pockets in the glass underneath when we look at it from the top. That's the theory anyway. Just smear this, but the aim is to get a nice even coverage on the glass all the way up to the edge. So that's got the glass prepared. What I can do now is stick it in the same amount but not quite so fussy about it in the opening. I just want to make sure we get some into this corner all the way around, and that will, I suspect, ooze up out of the top, and we can just smooth that off when it's done. Bead along the edge, so this is far less important, because in theory if we've got this right it's already looking, you can already, I hope, only see brown on top of the glass, so we'll see. Right, good to go I think. Let's give it a try. If we've got that right, we'll see in a minute when it's started to go off. That should leave us with just a nice neat gap around the edge that's got the brown in it, and we should hopefully only see the brown in the glass in a straight line, but we'll find out in a minute. Come back when it's gone off a bit. The beauty of having it water based is that I can now just get a damp cloth and smooth off this joint around the edge. I think in the finished job it's already taught me that I'm going to have to make a deeper rebate than I actually need because of the glue itself, which I hadn't thought about. So once again we're sort of proving things that will be useful, save us screwing up on finished job. Right, that's that done. I'm just going to wipe around the inside the same where I can't quite see, and then we can start to take the tape off, I think. Okay, so we've given it a few minutes just to get it bedded in, but I think there's enough suction in that to be able to work okay. So we'll just take a piece of the tape off and see what we get for our money. I was a bit worried about this one because if I've got too much of a problem with it, this was going out tomorrow to its exhibition. And if I'd got stuff all over it, it would have not gone down too well with me, because I haven't got that long to put it right. But I think that's exactly what I wanted. We've got a perfectly clean brown line. Take the backing off as well. There's going to be the tiniest bit of cleaning up afterwards, but I'll wait until it's dried before I do that. I am really happy with that. Thanks to Damien on Project Brewpeg. If you haven't been watching that, why not? I've been watching it for about 9 years now. And it was something that I picked up from him when they were glazing the windows of their trawler. So there's a tiny bit of clearing up to do, but I'm going to wait until it's dry until I do that, because it will sort itself out. I might just try and sort this little bit up here out, but it's working well. Any little tiny bits I can always sand, but certainly seems to be the way to go. Right, I'll leave that now till tomorrow and let the adhesive go off properly, and we can do the final clean up then. But I'm really pleased with that. That's another little job that I wasn't looking forward to sorting out, if you see what I mean, but we've got it. And okay, it'll be harder to do the whole piece of glass in one go, but hopefully with the darker material it's not going to look quite so noticeable if I get any spillage or anything. I could possibly use a black, I don't know yet, we'll see about that, but I think with the oak that'll be fine. So I'm just going to pop, I think I'm going to put that on with a bit of a clamp, just very lightly, just so that nothing untoward happens if I happen to turn my back on it for a minute, and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Well, that's gone remarkably well. I was really happy with the result I've got on it. It gives a finish a bit like you get on a car windscreen, where you just get the black surrounding edge that you can't really see there's anything there. So hopefully that's going to sort it for the big one when we come to do the whole top for the oak version. But I think I've got the technique set in my mind now, and it seems to work okay. So hope the video was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next time in the small shed. See you then. Bye.